so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked.
That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live as fuck, dude.
Are we?
It's stupid how live we are. We're live on the dropshot.com/live, of course. Welcome to the show, the broadcast. This is the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 126. My name is Casey, also known as Razanon, and I am joined by someone I thought I knew, but they look very unfamiliar.
Why is that?
With this accoutrement in their hand. What am I looking at here?
I'm
and
drinking
who are
a Truly.
you? What's your name?
My name is twitch.tv/channel Dropshot. You can also find me at www.thedropshot.com/live. This is a Truly Wild Berry Hard Seltzer. 5% alcohol by volume.
So did your concubine buy this, or did you buy it?
Actually, my mom came by earlier, and she was like, somebody gave these to your sister. She doesn't want them. Do you want them?
Interesting.
Sure.
So those are actually Hank Scorpios, and
They're Hank
commandeered
Scorpios.
them.
I stole them, yeah.
Nice.
I stole them.
Well,
these are good. Way better than any White Claw, anything like that, by the way. Way better.
Well, that's not a very high bar to
No,
pass.
still better.
I must say.
Still better.
Still better. Cool. Well, welcome to the show. I was very excited for tonight's episode, but unlike Tanner's fruity sweet drink, I'm in a very sour mood after seeing my co-host drinking a fucking Truly. So, full disclosure, I'm gonna do my best, dude. I'm gonna try my hardest to power through the dull aching sensation at the pit of my stomach.
Cool.
To get this show underway. So, on a serious note, very excited. Tonight's episode is going to be a little different. Obviously, today is Thursday and not... One second. Obviously, today is Thursday and not Wednesday. But it is still going to function kind of as a Wednesday episode. And the reason for that is that this whole week has been just chocked full of events with season 3 coming out and all the, you know, the preamble leading up to it, which we're of course going to get into. So in light of that, we had been and have been and will be just playing the ever living fuck out of the game. And so what we're going to do tonight is give you our gut feeling, first impressions, and this is not very tightly structured, and that's by design, because we're going to do that on Saturday. So tonight we're just going to give you guys like a fresh first impressions of everything that's happened. The day one events, today's events, the new map, the new meta, the new guns, which I should probably write down. So before I forget that, here we go. Okay. All of that shit. So that's what's on the docket for tonight. I'm very excited. I'm very curious to talk about it. And we also have some information, some light to shed upon you, our dear listeners. So also, we're not going to do any patron acknowledgements right now. We didn't check for them. Any fucking offline donations, subs, bits, whatever. Saving all that for Saturday. You will not go ignored. You will not go unacknowledged. But we're just going to save it for Saturday. So if you feel like you're scammed, relax. We'll get to it on Saturday. I haven't checked because I've been playing the game, and so is Tanner. We wanted to get in on day one as much as we possibly could, and we felt like if we played a lot and then just kind of went a little more off the cuff, off the dome, that would make for better content, because I can prepare really detailed notes about what the last patch was, but it's always better to have actually played it. So that's what we're doing tonight. And then besides that, let me see here. There was one more thing. So this Saturday, by the way, is our live call-in Q&A for our Platinum and Damascus patrons. So if you're a Platinum patron or a Damascus patron, Saturday afternoon at 1?
1, yep. You planning on waking up this time?
I plan on it, but we'll see if I decide to, right? What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alarm for 10 a.m. just so that I can wake up, DM you, and then go back to sleep. So I was awake. I could have been there on time, but I woke up and chose not to, and then went back to sleep. That's what I think I'm going to do. So keep that in mind.
Awesome.
But no, for real, I'll be there. And also, if you're like confused about why was the podcast on Thursday, twitter.com/thedropshotpod. If you're not following the fucking Twitter, then you're not abreast on everything happening with this podcast. And it's your fault. It's not mine. Twitter is free. Okay? If you have Spotify or wherever the fuck you're listening to this podcast, hey, dude, you have Twitter access also. I don't have a Twitter account. Cool. Takes 30 seconds to make one. You don't need shit. You don't need anything. Make one. Follow the fucking podcast Twitter account. And then you won't maul at me. Why wasn't the podcast on Wednesday? Why isn't it uploaded today? How many of those messages did I get? Don't know. Don't know, because I'm simply DM'd too often. But I've seen some of these questions in public channels too. And it's your fault. It's not mine. It's your fault. Twitter.com/thedropshotpod.
Typical white people blaming everyone else but themselves. That's actually crazy.
Am I wrong? Tanner, if they were following the Twitter, would they have been in a blender about when the program was going to be uploaded?
No, they would have known exactly when it is.
Agreed.
Or if they were on Discord, they would have known too.
And join the fucking Discord, of course. All of the links can, of course, be found at thedropshot.com. So keep that in mind. So anyways, skipping new patrons. We're doing that on Saturday. iTunes reviews, skipping that, doing that on Saturday. So just remember, if you're a Platinum or Damascus patron, Saturday, 1 p.m. is the live calling Q&A. And that is also on the Twitter. There's an image with the schedule for this week, since this is kind of a crazy week. So you can see the pinned tweet for that.
Yeah, we'll have one next week too, because next week will be a little weird as well.
Yes, and we'll make one for next week as well. So Tanner, any announcements from you, little buddy?
So we've finally started the TikTok journey a few days ago. We've started posting. Our editor Hash has been sending us some TikToks, so we've been posting those. I think we've probably posted 7 now, maybe in the last 4 or 5 days or something. Another one scheduled for tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, we probably won't have any up till like Monday at the earliest.
Have we gone through all 6?
Actually, no, there's more I can upload too. There's more. We'll be fine. But anyways, please follow the TikTok, which is at the Dropshot Podcast. At the Dropshot Podcast on TikTok. Like, comment, share. What else can you do on TikTok? I guess nothing.
Tell your dumb shit friends to follow the TikTok.
Tell your dumb shit friends to follow it. So do that right now. Pause this program. TikTok at the Dropshot Podcast. We've been posting on there.
Yes, and we continue to post more. For sure.
And this one we posted today, doing pretty well so far. We're already at like almost 700 views, and it's been up for like 2 hours. And
they're good talks, by the way. They're made by someone who knows what they're doing. So the caliber is high.
Yeah, we didn't make them.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Dude, next time we get a bundle, Tanner, just schedule them all in one sitting. Super easy.
That's basically what I did.
Well.
But I was scheduling like 2 a day.
Oh. That's cap. but okay.
Cool.
That's cap.
I guess you're the social media manager. I guess I'm fired. Take away 20%. I guess I'm fired.
Well,
you're so
okay.
dumb.
All right. Well,
look at that. We already got 2 live follows, by the way.
We did get some live followers.
Whoever just did that, thank you. Yeah, are your notifications on now, by the way, for the TikTok?
Yeah.
Because I turned them on, so that turns it on for you too. Rip. Okay.
No, mine were always on.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, so they're separate.
I also don't care. It's fine. I mean.
Yeah. Cool.
You know the vibes.
Oh.
Anyways, what?
Yesem said, my daughter said it came up on her TikTok feed as suggested for you. Let's go.
Damn. Nice, dude. We're hitting the algorithm, boys.
Oh, there's Hash. There's the guy who made it. There's the link, boys.
him so that he stands out more. Can I do it from here? I fucking...
You can do it. Just do it in chat. What do you mean?
Yeah, but now I have to... I'm not typing that because his name is shit. Change it. Hash. You stupid bitch. Why do you have all of these fucking underscores, bro? God, I'm molding.
Well, Hash is famous on TikTok. He already hit well over 1 million views on TikTok his first day of posting, right? So
that's pretty.
He's doing something actually. Right there.
1 million in a day is actually insane.
Over 1 million, yeah. It's insane, yeah.
Indeed, it is. So, what's the Dropshot vent IP and port, dude? That's good old Ventrilo, dude.
Yeah, those were the days. Oh my god.
What's the vent IP? I don't think it was IP though. I think it was just an address. I don't think it was tech.
No, I think it was an IP and port, because if you had the port wrong, you'd be like, dude, it's not working, and they're like, oh, the port number is wrong.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Maybe
kids these days would never be able to figure that out.
Yeah, they could.
Oh my god. I hate people under the age of, how old are we? 28? I hate people under the age of 28 years old. They're actually so dumb. It's crazy.
True. Any children in the chat? All right. So yeah, any other announcements, Tanner?
No.
Okay. So if you're listening for the jingle, here the fuck it is, dude. This is the first ever jingle where Tanner didn't interrupt it and mauled. Pretty interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sorry, I was too busy looking at my phone, seeing all of our new TikTok followers.
Let's go, dude. Well, you guys are doing it right then. So, all right, welcome to the show, boys and girls. Today we have a very fun, it's going to be very interesting episode. I'm very excited to go over it, as I said in the announcements, which you've skipped probably. And if you skip the announcements, fuck you, dude. Hey, fuck you, dude.
Damn.
No, it's fine. I don't care. It's whatever. Just rate us 5 stars. That's all I ask of you, listener. All right, so yeah, today we're skipping playlist updates. It's a new fucking season. Everything's different. The whole playlists are different, kind of, but not really. Actually, they're the same. We're skipping it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So today we're getting into first impressions of Warzone. As I said, we have a very loose structure of like notes and an outline of what we're going to talk about. And we're kind of just going to go based on, you know, the last 2 days that we've had.
We're just going to vibe.
We're just going to vibe a little bit. And we have like the Warzone Season 3 patch notes up for reference. And also, full disclosure, today's going to be focused on Warzone. Warzone changed. Warzone changed considerably. Cold War changed very little, actually. We will, of course, on Saturday be talking about Cold War and its changes, like the new map, Yemen Tau, and the 2 new guns in Cold War. But today we're going to be focused on Warzone and our first impressions of that. So, number one, before we start with that, this is a public service announcement. And you know this is important because it's not in the announcement section. This is important. So
scammed.
Listen, get scammed. Can't skip this one, bitch. Get scammed. Listen carefully, okay? If you think a gun is good because it fried in Resurgence Kingslayer trios yesterday, you're dumb. It's bad, and stop it. Now, have seen quite a few people tonight in the last 20 minutes guilty of this who have the audacity to come into our broadcast and type in our chat boxes, dude, the LC10 fries.
You are fake news.
Dude, the PPSH is a beam. It melts. Hey! No, it doesn't. Wrong. Now,
Wrong.
You guys need to be careful, because here's what's happening. You're dropping into Resurgence, you're getting a kill with your LC10, and you're seeing that armor is getting cracked, and then you're getting a down, and you think, boy, that was real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. That guy, you did crack his armor and down him, and it was pretty fast. Maybe even competitive. But what you're not thinking about, because you're dumb, is that he only has one plate, not three. So if a gun feels like it kills really fast in Resurgence, it's because they have fucking 100 less health than they will in actual Warzone. So let me just dispel with some fictitious rumors that have been spouted tonight. LC10 is not good. The only change to it was a slight increase to velocity. Not only is it not good, it's still shit. It's actively a bad gun. It doesn't work well.
Also, the velocity doesn't matter that much because it was an SMG. So the fact that it went from like 350 to 400 milliseconds doesn't really matter because you're using it up close as an SMG. So it's not that big of a difference, really.
Yes, exactly. It's almost no difference. You guys would never be able to tell that the velocity went up by 50 meters a second. So the LC10's dog shit, number one. And it's still dog shit. Nothing changed about that. Also, and I'm sorry to report this. And by the way, here was me. Oh, dude, the PPSH fucking fries, dude. I thought that because it was frying on Resurgence Kingslayer trios, because I'm fucking dumb, right? I'm dumb. So, no, actually, the PPSH is also dog shit. True Game Data just released a video this evening rather. He ran the numbers, and he was like, the time to kill is fucking shit. It's really slow. Stop using it. So the PPSH is great. It's fun. It's good when people have one plate. Not going to be good when people have three. So
cool.
The Farah. Here's another one. Everyone's saying the Farah is fucking insane now. No, it's not. It's still shit. It's better, but it's still shit.
It's different.
So let's just temper our expectations when we thought a gun was good because it was good when people had one plate. And we're going to help you guys get through this together.
Any helpers?
So,
yeah.
What was so I watched the True Game Data video on the PPSH. Tanner watched an XclusiveAce video, and he was sending me a couple DMs. What was the thrust of that video, Tanner?
He talked about a lot of guns in that one. He talked about like the FFAR, the Krig, the Farah. What he came to, by the way, the consensus of everything is the AMAX is still the best AR in the game. AMAX and Krig are sounding like the top two. LC10 isn't anything crazy. So the Farah, the way he described it, which makes sense. I haven't used this yet, but he said it's like, it's different, basically. So the Farah, we have less recoil on that gun now, but no, wait. Yeah, so less recoil, but also less damage. So the recoil is easier to control, but it's doing less damage. It's got less multipliers. I think for torso it was. Let me pull it up here. I think it was the torso, wasn't it?
I didn't know it got damage nerfed. That's really interesting. I think I have it closer.
Yeah, yeah. So damaged.
So the minimum damage.
And do I have it backwards? Maximum damage range. Okay, I have it backwards.
Okay, I'll just read what happened to the Farah.
Yeah.
Minimum damage increased from 25 to 26k. Max damage decreased from 33 to 31.
Mm-hmm.
So the variety
That's
is
what
less.
it is.
Max damage
so it takes more
range
bullets still.
Increased by 17%. That's pretty big. and then recoil pattern has been adjusted, and what you're saying is the recoil is now more controllable. Is that correct, Tanner?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's much easier to control now. Like it had a lot of recoil before, and now it's far less.
And so he was saying that it's like not that good but usable.
It's pretty much just different. So it's easier to control, but it's not hitting as hard because the actual damage has just decreased. So it's still just like, it's a good gun is what it sounds like, but it's still just not going to be meta, and it's not shit. It's just a basic AR, which is good because there's not really a meta right now. There's like a lot of, there's a lot of different guns that are good and usable. There's a couple that are a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
So
he was saying then AMAX and Krig are pretty clearly the two choices.
Yeah.
Did he give any loadout suggestions for the Krig?
No, he didn't.
Interesting. Okay.
Did not give any load. It was a quick video just putting out basic damage multipliers. I mean, this also was without attachments, obviously. They didn't have time to do all that, so.
Yeah, so some attachments could change how things work.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Exactly.
For sure. So, yeah. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the Krig for a while, see how it works. Again, because this game is shit and the publishers are shit, and you can't trust any Cold War attachments, I'm going to do my best. But, we'll see how it feels, and then we'll have more for you on Saturday. And a lot of these testing guys, I mean, obviously the patch has been out for like 4 hours, 6 hours. So a lot of these testing guys haven't even been able to run the numbers on everything. So on Saturday, also, we will know more because those guys will have put out some data for us to analyze. And then we'll have a more concrete understanding to report to you all on Saturday, which will be good.
Also, reminder when it comes to these Cold War ARs, they're still going to seem like they have way more recoil when you're using like an axial 3x optic because that zooms in way more. So you're thinking of using an AMAX with a VLK or something. It has a lot of recoil still, but it's not a whole lot compared to these Cold War assault rifles because their 3x optic zooms like 8x. So it's making these guns also seem like they have way more recoil.
Yes.
Like the AK-47, the Krig, etc.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you wanted to see that, put a sniper scope on a RAM or an M4. It's going to feel like it has way more recoil, even though it doesn't. It's just because you're zoomed in more. The Axial Arms 3X is not even close to the equivalent level of zoom as a VLK 3.0.
Yeah.
Because the game's shit. Yeah, that's something to consider as well. And that leads me to wonder, what's the closest thing to a VLK? Like a Cobra Red Dot 1.75?
God, I don't know.
The 2X probably, I guess, maybe?
The 2X still probably zooms more, honestly.
I would actually think so. So dumb.
I mean, don't the 3 and 4 times Cold War optics zoom about the same? Even? Isn't there almost no difference in those?
No, they're pretty different. Yeah. I don't know. You have to have a fucking... It's so dumb, dude. You have to be an expert at trigonometry and Calc 3 to figure out how much a scope zooms in the video game.
Yeah,
compared to another one.
Crazy.
It's just so fucking dumb. So anyways, whatever. I mean, dude, True Game Data put out a video literally talking about parallax, which is this weird physics concept. It's okay. So fucking Timmy, 11-year-old Timmy, who's struggling with single variable algebra is expected to understand this. I hate the publishers. But anyways, so that's something to say. And again, we'll have more info on Saturday. The only thing I will say with certainty is that the AMAX is very good and easily your safest bet for a strong weapon in Warzone right now. You really can't go wrong with the AMAX. And I would also say on top of that, the RAM. The RAM has never been changed in Warzone. Not once. It's always been strong. It's always had great damage, great range, good fire rate, good magazine size. The only downside is the recoil is weird. It's not more than an AMAX. It's less. but it's way different because it just goes fucking straight left, dude. The ram, you start shooting, it just does this move right here. It's
left. More horizontal recoil, right?
Yep.
Yeah, versus that vertical recoil.
Yeah.
That's what, the AMAX has quite a bit of recoil, but it's pretty easy to control because it's just vertical.
Yeah, exactly. So ram, if you're comfortable with it, AMAX, regardless, those are the only safe bets in the game right now.
Yeah.
But we'll have a little more to say on weapons and the new weapons in a little bit. So number one, we're going to go through these little special events and what we thought of them. So day one, the first event was the destruction of Verdansk. And for those of you who may not have gotten to play it, which is probably most of you, because this was in the weekday, in the middle of the week, in the afternoon, is when they decided to do a limited time event. Hey, do you have a job? Fuck you, says Activision.
Relax.
Activision hates the working class.
You know, if they did this, by the way, at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, there would have been way less people on. I guarantee it. Worldwide, way less people.
Saturday afternoon. Bro.
Way less people.
Saturday afternoon.
Look at Warzone had 1.7 million viewers. People saw it. It's fine. Nick Merckx had 400,000 viewers. They'll be fine, right? You didn't. I mean, it was cool, but hey, you could just watch it. You don't have to experience it yourself, honestly.
That's also true, which we're getting to. So yeah, day one, the destruction of Verdansk. This was a limited time mode where you drop in and immediately there are 3 locations where Juggernaut suits are dropping. And also it's like a relatively small circle. And you drop in with a Jack 12 shotgun.
Change it.
Which is okay. And you can't get a custom loadout. It's not possible. And then what would happen is if you died, you would become a zombie. And then you would function in the exact same way as the Halloween event zombies did. So you could jump super high, you could EMP blast people, and you could throw gas grenades. But differently is if you died as a zombie, you would just respawn. Or wait, no, I think that's how it worked in Halloween too.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get squad wiped. So if all of your team died, instead of you leaving the lobby, you would just all be zombies. That's not how it worked in Halloween, but that's how it worked for this event. And then after that, pretty shortly after that, they would say like, oh, get to the chopper, which was under dam on that frozen lake. And then
get to the chopper.
A helicopter would be there. And then there was a nuke that got dropped, or a nuke countdown, whatever. And then after that, it would show a cutscene of a nuclear warhead leveling Verdansk.
Yep, hitting fire station right by stadium.
Yes. So what were your thoughts on this event, Tanner?
So this event obviously was the best part of this whole Warzone Verdansk 1984 event in general. So this was fun. Server issues were the only major problem. So it took us, they ended up extending this by an hour. It was supposed to go from 12 to 2, and it went from 12 to 3 because nobody could get into a lobby before like 1 o'clock. I don't think we got into one until about an hour and 20 minutes after.
It took like 90 minutes. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it took forever. So that sucked. The game mode itself though was very fun. As soon as I spawned in, everyone was like, turn on the music. I was like, okay, relax. And the music was dope, and that made the playlist. I'm gonna be honest, that made the playlist.
True. It was somber and like low.
It was zombies music, yeah. It was zombies music. It fit perfectly. They were saying shit over the radio. They're like, Verdansk is lost. We're being overrun. Blah blah shit like that. It was intense. So that was very well done. Like it it got really fun when you were a zombie. So like it was fun to survive, right? And try to kill all the zombies. But when you became a zombie and you were running around with everyone else and we're all going after one Bertha with 3 guys in it, it was exciting. And it's like they're trying to get to the exfil chopper. Of course, nobody ever did. Apparently you could exfil. I still think that's fake news. I never saw anyone do it, right? But apparently you could actually exfil.
Yeah,
but it got really intense towards the end. I got the Juggernaut one time, actually. That was fun. I lost it within 30 seconds. I was dead. But that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Some people who got that Juggernaut, dude, that was dope. Because when there's so many zombies and you have a fucking minigun with infinite ammo, you have to reload it, but it's still infinite. Like, you just fucking gun everything down. Super
exactly.
Cool. But
yeah. So that was really fun. I got shit on with mine. But yeah, so like the only things you could get were streaks pretty much. And that was, well, you can get some guns too off of the train, but it's like you could, there were precisions going off everywhere, cluster strikes going off. It was super intense, whole lot of fun. That last cutscene though was intense. The first time you watched that was crazy, watching the fucking nuclear warhead go between the buildings and just boom, make the explosion, and then that was it. So I loved this part of the event. This was like a 9 out of 10 for me. It's fantastic. I loved playing it. It was cool playing as the zombies. I'm glad though this only lasted like 3 hours because I was bored at the end of it. I was done with it. Right?
Bored.
So I'm glad they didn't have like only that playlist for 24 hours or something.
Yeah.
You know, some shit like that. So
true.
They were smarter than that, thankfully. But yeah, part 1 of the destruction of Verdansk was excellent. Big fan.
I agree. It was cool. It was cool from like a lore perspective and like a building hype perspective. It was pretty hype. And it was pretty fun too. I will agree with you though that it got old very quickly. It was very fun, but it is something I did not want to repeat more than twice. We did it once, I had a lot of fun. We did it the second time, I had about half as much fun. We did it a third time, I had very little fun, and then I was done. So I think we had time to queue for one more, but we both were just like, I'm over it. I pass.
Yeah.
Because once you've gotten the theatrics and all the pageantry, you've absorbed it, you've seen the cutscene yourself, it's like, okay, cool, let's fucking move on here. Let's move on. And that's what we'll do right now to what happened after that. So Verdansk gets bombed, and then at 2 p.m. Pacific time,
2 p.m.
It was at 2 because there was an hour where they overlapped.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So yeah. They released Resurgence at Night as a game mode. And I think it was Kingslayer Trios was one of them, but no, there was a different LTM too, wasn't there? Where you tried to like get the device? Yeah. What was the objective
That was the
of this
one
mode?
that was the one today.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm okay. Got it. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, it was just like Rebirth Island at night was like the next LTM. That was
pretty much it. Yeah.
There was actually no lore here, really. It was just you could either play Resurgence or Kingslayer Trios, both of which were pretty fun. But they were standard that, and the only difference was that it was at nighttime. The only really piece of lore or like storytelling that was in it was that you could see the bomb going off in the distance, the mushroom cloud over Verdansk on the horizon.
Yeah.
And this was fine. It was fun.
It was cool looking.
Yeah, and this lasted quite a bit longer. The rest of the day, in fact, and you couldn't play regular Warzone. And a lot of broadcasters were malting about this. Like Huskers was playing CS:GO.
None of them were playing.
Iron was playing PUBG.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
they were all playing other games. It's pretty funny, actually.
Because they're just allergic to not playing Warzone. Yeah, which I found. Yeah, Tanner pointed that out. I found that very funny. But
yeah,
by this time the new guns were out. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The new guns came out at 9 p.m. last night. So yeah, this was a great way to start leveling up your guns, because if you popped a double XP, double weapon XP token, and you were playing on Kingslayer, you could get a lot of kills. Like I was dropping 20, 30 kills often. And of course we won like 3 games at least. We won probably 3 in a row. I won probably 5 or 6 total.
Yeah, we won more than we lost. It was pretty fucking easy to win.
Oh, we're the best. Oh, yeah, it's simple. Seems like there was absolutely no skill-based matchmaking, right? I mean, it was simple.
Yeah.
It was simple. So that was fun. Great way to start leveling up the guns. There were some minimal map changes, though. Like that control center, whatever it was called, was on Rebirth. Yeah, that was new. So we got to check that thing out. But yeah, it was that got intense. But again, Rebirth gets old very quick. Rebirth is very fun. I don't understand how people can only play that, though. Like, I can understand hating Verdansk, but like only playing Rebirth, I don't get it. It just gets boring so fast. There's nothing to gain and go for, like with Verdansk winning a BR, you know? I don't know. Rebirth is just kind of, it's weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a great way to level up the weapons. I mean, it kind of gave us like some false sense of how good these guns are. And we said that last night too when we were streaming it. We're like, these guns seem good, but everyone has one plate, so it's very hard to tell. Because at first I was like, dude, this PPSH is nasty. And I think you were like, well, yeah, everyone only has one plate. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still killing pretty quick.
You are fake news.
It doesn't. We got sucked in by Rebirth, and we were baited. We were baited by Rebirth.
Yep.
So yeah, that but it was fun either way to level up the guns. Yeah, nothing really was going on though. It was something to play. Well, they took out Verdansk and put 84 or 1984 Verdansk in. So
pretty much. Yeah. So that was cool. So from 2 to 9, the new guns were not out. And at that time I was using like NVG M4. The M4 is not good, by the way. I don't know why. I heard somewhere, or I think it was True Game Data, like a while ago, was saying like the M4 is going to be like one of the better AR, like MW ARs. And I think maybe It's Time to Kill, like on paper, is pretty good. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I felt like it was not killing fast enough. But maybe it's because I'm used to the AMAX. But anyways, whatever. And then at 9 o'clock, we had a little resurgence of, pun not intended, of enthusiasm, because we could try out the new guns, which is what we did. And then the night ended, and that was basically it. So once season 3 came out, Rebirth wasn't different at all. It was the same shit.
Yeah.
Then today, there were 2 more LTMs. The first one was for like only an hour or 2. It was Rebirth at night, and the goal was to secure a nuclear device and then plant it in like some other part of Rebirth.
You didn't have to plant it. So it's like holding a score streak, but there was essentially a timer on it. Hey, if you want to see it, go to TikTok and go to @the_Dropshot podcast, because we did it, right?
We did, of course.
I called in and I nuked Verdansk personally. So it was basically like when the timer ran out, whoever had control of it could call in the nuke. Now, for some reason, nobody knew what to do. Our teammates had it when the timer was up. They didn't try to call it in. We died. Some other shit team got it. I was like, oh, the game's over. And I read in my chat, because I was streaming at the time, I was like, what do you even do with this thing? How do you use, like, what are our teammates doing? And they're like, it's like a score streak. You call it in. So I was like, okay, so I don't know what the fuck these guys are doing. So I jumped down, pushed the building. It was real intense. Go watch my VOD of it, right? I entered the building on Rebirth. I sprayed the guy down with my PPSH. Sprayed him with my PP. I took it, picked it up. I pressed 3 because it's a score streak, and it's like you're getting a nuke in Modern Warfare. You pull out that little pad, you type in a few fucking buttons, press a few little buttons, and then it activates it. And then a nuke's coming in. And the countdown starts from like 15 seconds or something. It was really intense. I was like, yo, I just nuked Verdansk. You know, it ends, and then you get a shit little absolute garbage cutscene. But then before that, it shows like the winning team, and it's like these guys nuked Verdansk, and it shows your name and calling card.
Verdansk, yeah.
The Destroyers of Verdansk. So it shows that at the end of the game. So that was pretty cool. Everyone,
cool.
You know, seeing our names up there.
Yep. And then after that, what happens is you are taken directly into a helicopter. Or no. I don't even think you're taking a helicopter. I think there's like a cutscene or a loading screen. I actually don't remember which. And then all of a sudden...
Cutscene first.
Okay. What's the cutscene of? I don't remember.
It was the one where it shows hospital, the red door.
Oh, that's right.
It drops in through hospital. That was a really cool cutscene too, but it was entirely too short. It like showed the globe, and it was like 2021, and then the globe started spinning. And then it zoomed in on the same area again, and it said 1984, and it zoomed in, and it was Verdansk. And then it like the camera's going through around. Well, not around downtown, around like Promenade, and it goes into hospital. Yeah. Goes into hospital. It shows this red door. The red door opens. All these little numbers come up on the screen. Still don't really know what that means. Also don't care.
Mason doesn't either.
Yeah, no, we don't. I don't know, and I don't care. Not into that lore. But yeah, so we went back in time, and yeah, then it's the... After that ends, then you're coming in on the helicopter, dropping into Verdansk. That's what happened. That's the way it went.
Yes. And then you're dropping into quads on New Verdansk. 1984 Verdansk. And there were a lot of things that were the same and a lot of things that were different. So, yeah, you're above whatever the fuck, and then you know, you can drop in, and then you just play the BR. You can loot, you can buy loadouts, circle closes, and then someone wins. It wasn't us because we were
trying to explore.
Yeah, we were trying to explore. We were getting in helicopters, flying around, looking at the new map.
And of course, people are gunning us down with their machine guns. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yes.
Let me check out the map. Like, actually, what are you shooting at me for?
Yes.
What are you doing?
True. So that's what we were doing. We're going to get into how the new map was in a second. But that was that mode. And then we got out of one game after some exploration. And then we did it again because we couldn't play the regular Warzone. And that made me fucking mauled. So we had to do the whole resurgence at night shit just to get into the BR again. So then now I'm maulding.
And then it was boring at that point.
So the zombies thing is fun a couple times. Fucking more resurgence after I played it all night. At night, I did not need it any more times. So once was enough. And then we had to do it again, and I was fucking maulding.
That resurgence, by the way, when I called in the nuke, was boring until the final 1 minute when I actually started going for it, and our teammate had it, and then I called it in. The rest of it was boring. It's like you're just playing Kingslayer Resurgent or Kingslayer Rebirth. It was dumb.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, so that was kind of disappointing because then it just ends like when your little BR in Verdansk ends, it's like nobody knows what happens next. And Call of Duty wasn't tweeting anything. Charlie Intel is just tweeting shit about the POIs on the map, and I'm just like, okay, so when are we going to be able to fully play the game? Like tomorrow? 6 hours from now? What is going on? Yes. Like nobody was saying that. It's just you had to queue into Rebirth again, do the same shit just to get on Verdansk 1984. It was weird.
Very weird.
That part, yeah. All of that I didn't like.
Yeah. So
Day one was awesome. That shit was like a 3 out of 10.
True, for a lot of reasons. So that was annoying, but then but now it's just regular ass Warzone again. They fixed, we only had to do that bullshit twice before we could just regularly queue up. And there were server issues through all of this, by the way. All of it. They were worse yesterday than today, to Activision's credit, but it was a clusterfuck nightmare disaster, as we told you it was going to be. And it still probably is right now, although maybe not actually, but it was still this afternoon, and it was really bad yesterday. So yeah, and then we got regular fucking, 1984's Verdansk. So day one was like really fucking cool and hype and exciting. And the cutscenes and the impact and all of that felt very fulfilling on the very first event. The second event wasn't really an event at all because there were no real cinematics, so that's fine. This part 2, the Destruction of Verdansk finale, felt astoundingly underwhelming.
Yeah.
Astoundingly underwhelming. Very little hype. And the way, like, you drop into 80s Verdansk, and then it just ends after that. It's like, if you're going to have this as a part of this LTM, the Destruction of Verdansk Part 2, then even if you die, shouldn't there be, like, some final cutscene to kind of close the loop? And it, or like, well, let's fuck some asses. Something. Yeah. Like something. Because it just ended, and then it's just the, like, you lost screen that I'm very familiar with. Get shit on, not first, that we're super familiar with, and then you exit that, no cutscene, back to the main menu. And I was like, oh, I guess it's over. And it's just over. Now, to be clear, to be fair, I don't really know what else I wanted or want. I mean, again, maybe a cutscene after the BR ends, but other than that, I'm just like, I was just disappointed. But what else could they have done? I don't know. But
I know. I don't know either.
Yeah. But it was just so underwhelming compared to yesterday. And I wish that this was the more cool, exciting thing than yesterday's events were. But that was not the case at all, which was weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. So.
Yeah, it was a very underwhelming, to say the least, today. It was funny too, because a bunch of the big content creators I saw on Twitter, they were like, cool, I waited 1 hour in a server queue to play Capture the Flag on Rebirth.
Actually,
that's what they were referring to. That because that's what it was, is you had to like hold the nuclear, I don't know what they were calling it,
football,
sure, we'll call it the nuclear football. And so it's like, it didn't matter until the last person had it at the end, right? So it was essentially Capture the Flag.
Yeah, actually,
pretty funny.
Now let's talk about the actual so here's what's interesting, right? Tanner brought up an excellent point. So I was about to say, let's talk about the new map in Warzone, right? I was gonna say, again, let me repeat that. Let's talk about the new map, right? But what's super interesting is that there isn't really a new map, is there? There's not much of a new map. So let me tell you guys a story. Yesterday, we're broadcasting Season 3 patch download simulator on this broadcast, and OP Marked had the genius idea to do a custom Warzone lobby. And if you do a custom Warzone lobby, you get into 1984 Verdansk, the map. And this was last night when the map wasn't officially launched yet.
And before they had removed customs.
And before they had removed custom lobbies, because they didn't really think about it, because they don't play their own game or even know that custom lobbies exist, apparently. So he was streaming a very first look at all of the 1984's Verdansk. And we were watching that broadcast. And it was interesting watching it. Tanner, when you were watching OP Mark's broadcast, Just what were your thoughts? What was going through your head? What were you thinking? What were you feeling?
So yeah, I remember using this exact line. Let's put this in quotes. I remember saying,
"Quote,
oh no, oh no."
End quote.
Oh my God, it's the same exact map. Oh no. End quote. Yeah, that's it. I said that about 3 times, which isn't a bad thing. I just expected a little bit more. After we heard this was Verdansk 1984, the leaked videos, of course, showed the areas that were basically changed. Like in that trailer, they showed were the areas that were changed. Stadium, Array, I think was
Dam.
Quarry on there. Dam was on there. They didn't show most of Dam, actually. They only showed a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So what they didn't show was like about probably 50% of the map at least that not a goddamn thing changed. Sure, the walls inside are a different color. You walk into the living room inside of a building or an apartment and promenade, and a couch is in a different spot, right? Or a fridge is missing. But other than that, the core is the same for the vast majority of the map. It is exactly the same. It is reskinned, recolored. They added a few more trees. There's more hills in certain areas, which is good. Not a whole lot of changes. So yeah, initially seeing this last night on OP Mark Streams, friend of the pod, it was a little sad. I was getting some bad vibes. It didn't make me excited to see the new map, right?
Exactly.
Obviously, like he was stoked. He would get to certain areas and he's like, what? This is exactly the same. But then you get to another area and he's like, dude, this is sick. I can't wait to like grind this. I can't wait to play this. And I was just kind of thinking the whole time, like, I don't know. A lot of those areas are very similar. I don't know, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So that's what was happening last night when we were watching this unfold as our wonderful Blizzard BattleNet client was downloading the update at about 1/20th of the speed it usually does.
Yes.
So
yeah. So shout out to Blizzard.
We had a while. Yeah. Right.
So so well said. We were watching a stream. It looked like a different like color temperature, but a lot of the map is the same. And we learned that more today. So a couple interesting things that are different before we get to the big things. There are buy stations in different spots now. So like we played quite a bit today. We saw some buys that we have never seen in these spots before. That's pretty interesting. Also, on buildings that existed in both the old Verdansk and this one, there are ladders now that there didn't used to be. There are also windows now where there weren't before.
Yes, true.
Ammo
Those are small changes, by the way, but those make a big difference in the way you move throughout those buildings and play. So those
True.
are actually pretty big differences.
True.
Even though that building's in the same exact spot.
Yes, true. And the locations of ammo refill stations have changed too. I've seen an ammo refill station where there used to not be one, and I've been to a location where they used to be and it's not there. So
where'd you see your ammo refill at? I didn't even see one so far.
I don't remember.
Okay,
I don't remember.
cool.
But I
Awesome.
do remember thinking it wasn't in the old one. So
damn, that's crazy.
It's super crazy. So the vast majority of the map is exactly the fucking same. And I would venture to say the map's the same. The only question I have right now actually is Boneyard. Is Boneyard different now?
We haven't gone there. There's many parts of the map we haven't gone to yet. So that's why this is like a very initial impressions. After the program tonight, we'll have a much better say because we'll land at those areas we haven't looked at today and we'll give them a little check. But yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. So
L says a shit ton of trees in Boneyard. Interesting. Doesn't seem like there'd be trees there.
Same as the rest of the
weird.
map, a little bit different arrangement of buildings. All the plains have trees all around them. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then another like little, kind of little but not little thing is Verdansk before was like winter. Verdansk now is like springtime.
Yeah, spring.
So there's more trees, there's more green, there's less snow, and there's more water.
Zero snow, yeah.
Yeah, and there's more water, obviously. Not like swimmable water. I mean, like more puddles. So like in those ravines where there was a bunch of snow, now you'll see like dirt and like water puddles.
Yeah.
So there are like quite a few small differences, like the ones I just went over, and probably more. We'll learn more as the weeks go by. But which is interesting, and it will change how it's played. Another so some microcosm of this. In the ravine between where were we? I believe it is the ravine between farmland and downtown. Instead of it just being a cement wash like the film Grease, it is no cement, and there's like piles of dirt, so you can actually cross that ravine with some cover. And there's also like tractors in there and shit too. So there are a lot of little things like that that don't seem like they're very impactful, but they will turn out to be very impactful. That's the best example that I can raise right now. Because if there's someone like on the opposite side of this ravine and they're trying to kill you, in Old Verdansk, there's absolutely no cover. You will just die.
Yeah.
That simple. Now, though, there's like mounds of dirt and tractors and like a lot more hard cover, at least at this area that I'm talking about. And that's going to function how that area of the map plays, even though it looks almost exactly the same. So there are going to be some like little differences like that actually turn out to be like to make it like kind of a different experience. But a lot of areas didn't fucking change at all. So Dam changed, sort of. Fire station's still in the same spot. All the buildings around there are the same. There's behind that, more north of Dam, there's like the map summit. That's different. There's a gondola there. That's kind of cool. But like, okay. Array is new. There's that giant array, which you can rappel up to. And it's very tall, by the way. And that's going to be a real rat spot. So that's different. Quarry has fewer buildings because it's now called Salt Mine.
And there's a lot of salt, buddy. I'll tell you what.
And there's a lot of salt. And I'm salt because this map isn't different enough for me. The salt mines, they're mining me because I'm salty. That this map isn't very different. Not my best work. Don't make that face. We'll edit that out. How about hey, we'll edit that out, okay? But the quarry's a little different. There are probably 30% fewer buildings in quarry, and those are just replaced by like salt. So it's a lot more open, which is interesting. And then what else is a little different? Farmland's actually more buildings. That's what I was told. I'm not sure I believe you guys. Is this real? Are there actually more buildings?
That's what it seems like. I don't know if there's more buildings. The buildings are different though. At Farmland there is there's like a church there essentially. I think that's what it is. Is it a church? It's like a farmhouse.
Like a Russian Orthodox church. Yeah.
So according to Charlie Intel, Standoff replaces the farmhouse area, but I didn't get that vibe when I was there. Maybe I wasn't standing in the right area.
We might not have been in the right area because I didn't get that vibe either.
Because apparently Standoff is essentially in farmhouse now.
That could be pretty cool.
But yeah, farmhouse had some changes for sure. What were the other ones you just went over? Summit is one of the biggest changes, by the way, above Dam. Dam is entirely different. That's one of the biggest changes on the map for sure is Dam. That gondola is pretty dope. Those two buildings there are massive that you can go in. That creates a lot of new areas to fight in. Also, that's a cool area for a circle to end. Dude, imagine the circle ending.
That would be kind of cool.
On a gondola.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's going to be some
man.
cool TikToks of people ratting in gondolas for the win.
And people hitting like fucking 360 no scopes off of a array, hitting somebody on a roof in downtown because the roofs are still there, by the way. The buildings are just as tall.
Which we'll get into, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But then, yeah, so like some areas are like quite different. That's probably the most different. Airport, exactly the fucking same. Storage Town, exactly the fucking same. Promenade, we haven't been there, but it looks like it's exactly the fucking same. Boneyard.
Promenade's a little different.
Is it?
From the images I've seen, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Military base.
We'll look at it.
Military base, not only is it exactly the same, it's indistinguishable. We had a fight on Millie today. I forgot I was on a new map, actually. There is one new building.
There's a new building that's huge, and it also had nothing in it. Zero loot, right?
Well, it wasn't huge. It was 2 stories.
It was like the barracks, by the way, that are at Hospital. They're to the west of Hospital.
I think
Those
it was barracks
you go
actually.
into.
So
that's
yeah.
what it was. It was
Yes.
the same exact layout with like the little
you're right.
bunk beds or
Good
whatever
catch.
it is in there. Yeah.
Good catch. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. But besides that, it's like exactly the same. So
Yeah.
it's just astoundingly. Stadium is the most different, actually. Stadium is what is most different in this map than the other map. Dam is quite different too. Maybe Dam's more. It doesn't matter. Stadium's quite different. It's like under construction, so there's no more
It just
roof,
started. Yeah.
and like it's very open, which can be interesting.
There's also a massive crane, by the way, at Stadium, and it makes me furious. I can't confirm, but we didn't see a ladder there or a rappel on that crane. And if you can't get on top of that crane without a chopper, that's going to make me furious. Like, there's got to be a way to get on that, right? There has to. We had to have just
I don't
not
know.
seen something.
Maybe. I'm
Like,
hoping.
give me a ladder the whole way up. I mean, if I want to take 3 minutes to climb up there and potentially get sniped, let me do it.
Yeah.
Put a ladder up there.
Give me
so
the
maybe we
freedom.
just missed that.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And then that leads me to downtown. Now, yeah, correct. Ever since we got this leak of 1980s Verdansk, instead of Ural Mountains, Tanner and I were very surprised, and we'll never be caught off guard like that again. So shout out to the leakers. Fuck you guys. Unless you're Tom Henderson. We were very surprised, but we were like, well, this can be good because Verdansk is like, the problem with Verdansk is there are too many buildings and they're simply too tall. So then we got the commercial and it looked like a part of downtown was in the commercial and the dude was on a rooftop and it wasn't very tall. Well, maybe
And the other ones around there weren't very tall, it seemed.
Yes. So maybe I'm just dumb, but that was just propaganda. Because downtown is almost exactly the same. Every building in downtown is the same height as it was before, except for the absolute tallest building, which is under construction and is still very tall. Like extremely tall. It's like missing 2 stories or something.
Yeah.
So what we were hoping for most about 80s Verdansk, downtown being like very underdeveloped, very short buildings, none of that's true. And downtown is just as cancerous fucking dog shit as it was before.
Yeah.
And that's just super disappointing. Super disappointing. And we were surprised by this.
That is the part of the map that almost everyone wanted changed, and that changed very, very little.
Yep.
Very little. Yeah, because last night OP didn't really hit that, but you could see out in the distance, like, oh, cool. Doesn't matter anything else because all of the huge buildings were there, right? All of the massive buildings were still there.
Yep.
So that made it awful. Now, the biggest change to downtown probably is Trump Tower. which is also like under construction. So Trump Tower is a little bit shorter, right? It's not quite as tall anymore.
Correct.
It's a little bit shorter. And on top of it is like it's under construction still. So you can kind of go inside of it more. There's a big area to fight there. Only issue I found with that is I feel like there's even a nastier head glitch now when you're on that level. Like you can look all around downtown and I feel like the head glitch is worse than before because it seems like you can see more and shoot at more and they'll barely see the top of your head. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. There's also another massive crane there that you probably can't get up inside. But other than that, we haven't gone deep into downtown, but it seems pretty much exactly the same. And again, it's like you can't expect this stuff to change that much because like obviously all of those buildings were probably, there in 1984 too. But I don't know. That's a little disappointing. Probably the most disappointing part. So again, we're still just going to have to avoid downtown completely. Just try to not even go close to it.
Exactly.
Which sucks.
It does suck. It really sucks.
Yeah.
But there is a silver lining, and Tanner and I were talking about this last night because we were both feeling the disappointment. We expected more to change than did because we're dumb, and to think Activision would meet or exceed our expectations was naive of us, and we got caught in the trap. So that was dumb of us. But the silver lining is actually a pretty big, pretty thick outline here.
It is.
And that is that even though the map didn't change that much, it is not obvious to me that any of the changes made the map worse than before. So everything that has changed about the map so far is either neutral or makes the map better. So even though we were underwhelmed and the changes weren't as drastic as we were hoping for, it does seem to be the case that at least it's still now a better map than it was before, even if it's not to the degree that we wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that changed that makes me think, wow, I wish this didn't change because old Verdansk was better than this.
Exactly. Nowhere, actually, have I thought that.
Yeah. So that's good, obviously. I will also say there are going to be some things that were changed that shouldn't have been changed. We're going to find them, but none of that is obvious right now. And at the end of the day, we're just going to have to play it and see how the whole thing works. We'll have a better, maybe in a month or so, we'll do a review of the new map once we have like quite a bit of experience and have played the whole thing. And then we'll see.
What we think the best areas are. OP spots, etc.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. That'll be good. But overall just disappointed, but it's fine. It's probably not going to be worse than the old map. And the visibility does seem better, maybe because it's brighter. It looks different. The feeling,
You are fake news.
the color temperature, the ambiance feels different. And also, I think my frames are better now, independent of DLSS.
Fake news.
Go ahead.
So people that keep saying the game is giving them blackout vibes, looks better, has more color, I must be blind. Because when I turn off my NVIDIA filters, the game looks shit and green. Before, the game looked shit and gray.
Yeah.
It's just green now. That's it. It doesn't look good. You look up at the sky. The sky is not even blue. The sky is green. It's not vibrant. People saying that are pissing me off. Please stop saying that. Now I get it. A lot of them are probably on console and they haven't used NVIDIA filters. They don't know how good the game can look with filters on because they don't cheat and use filters to be able to see people like we do. So I get it. Yeah. But trust me, it's not vibrant. It is not. You put up NVIDIA filters that look great, that give you all sorts of color. Bright blue skies, green ash trees, dark ass corners that are dark. white ass vehicles, etc. It looks so much better. So it's not vibrant. Let's stop calling it vibrant, please.
That's
the
fair.
whole map is just green now. It's a different color. I don't think you can see people easier. It doesn't look any better. It's just a different hue, essentially.
Yeah,
So,
it doesn't
doesn't
seem
look any better. You
brighter
can't see
to
people
you,
as well.
though?
No,
Interesting. Okay. I agree. The game
it looks
still
dull still.
The game still looks like complete dog shit. That's obviously true. Unlike Tanner, I didn't have the gall to turn my filters off because I knew the game still looks awful. Of course.
Yeah.
Why would you even try turning your filters off?
Well, I tried that
is
because
the
everyone was
question.
like, yo, because I kept seeing on Twitter, yo, blackout vibes. The game is so vibrant now. I'm like, oh, dope. I don't have to run filters anymore. I can save 80 frames. I turned them off within 2 seconds. I was like, nope. Awesome.
those right back
cool. And like Mullet said in chat earlier, and I was saying this earlier when I was streaming, I was at Dam, and there was a guy that landed, and he landed on the rocks, like right below the summit area. The guy disappeared. I was like, dude, I even said that out loud. I was like, where did this guy go? He was sitting there, or he was crouched there. I could not see him because his character blended in so much with the wall, which was green, and his skin was green. It looked like a default skin. I don't think it was. I'm not sure what it is. So I'm calling it now. Rose isn't going to be as good anymore because these green skins are going to be better. I could not see that guy. He was right in front of me. I literally was staring at him, I think ADS, and I didn't see until he started shooting at me. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Where did this guy come from? Could not see him. Blended in perfectly.
Interesting.
So the same issues are going to arise. It's just we haven't found them yet. There's going to be the same problems.
That's fair.
So it's not vibrant. Stop saying it's vibrant, please.
Okay, you did also though bring up that you feel like it might be the case that the insides of rooms look brighter and better and there are fewer dark spots.
Yep.
How is that investigation going?
It looks brighter for sure. It basically looks like they flicked a light switch and there's a 60-watt light bulb on in the room now. That's about
Like
it. But then you go in.
yeah.
Then there were certain buildings I was going in, like the little buildings that are known for having rats in the corners, which are like the little 2-story wooden looking houses where you go upstairs, the wooden staircase.
Oh, yeah.
There's for some reason a shit loft up there. Not sure what that building is, by the way. What is that? What is that? Is that an attic? Does somebody live up there in that little shack?
I don't know.
Change it.
Yeah.
Change it, Russia.
Yeah, move.
Change it. So some of those look pretty good. And then I walked in one of them, and in one half of it, there was a dark blue rug that was so dark. I said right away, oh my God, you can't see people in these corners. Even worse in this specific building because that rug is so dark.
Interesting.
So things like that were worse, but then you go in other buildings that look exactly the same as that, and they don't have that color rug. So I feel like there's more differences in terms of like one house to the next with what's inside of them. And that specific one was really, really bad.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, so that was a little odd. Now I didn't see anyone in there because we were just looting, but as soon as I walked up there, I'm like, holy shit, this makes it really dark up here. This is not easy to see people.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So we're going to have to play more and find more rats and attics and see how difficult it is to see them. If they fixed that problem, which I doubt, but if they did and somehow you can see people hiding in corners more easily now, that would make all of this worth it, actually. Because nothing is more frustrating. Nothing's more frustrating. Now, speaking of being able to see people,
getting killed by
an
AUG the last month straight has probably been more frustrating.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Touche. Speaking of visibility, being able to see people, how's that Rose nerf treating you, bud?
No different.
Literally exactly the same.
Rose didn't change. The color of the game slightly changed. Like I was saying, it went from gray. So like those corners that were gray and looked dark gray when Rose was in there, dark gray and black, those are mostly gone. So now it's a very dark green corner. So Rose will stand out a little bit more. Rose, the skin itself, didn't change at all though.
No.
So yeah,
different.
we'll see. In certain areas though, there will inevitably be some skin that blends in even better. And we'll all just be pissed. Also, you can be wearing my little pink kitty cat skin on top of a Ray, and I still can't see you, by the way. A Ray is if there were no glint snipers and somebody was on a Ray and you knew they were on a Ray, you would not find them for 5 minutes, even though you know they're up there somewhere.
It's fucking tall, dude.
Yes, it is insane.
Is it
and you
taller
can
than Trump? I think it is, actually.
I don't know,
like
but you can also
Trump.
jump down and then get on all of those little individual metal beams that hold the whole thing up, those metal cross members and whatnot. It's like you can get on all of that.
Yeah.
So you can just camp in the rattiest spots. You don't have to be like on the walkway where people would expect you to be. You can be anywhere. Yep. Like earlier we were playing and there was a bounty there and we're like, I don't even think we pushed this. We won't be able to see them. Luckily they were dumb, or no, they had to move because of the zone. Yeah. So they had to jump off and then we ended up killing them. But it's like, dude, we didn't even want to go to a raid because we couldn't see them.
Yeah. I mean, we tried. We looked at it and we were like, oh, this isn't possible. This is simply not possible. I'm leaving. Yep. So yeah. That's kind of our first impressions on the new map. We will see, as time goes on, how that evolves.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
It sounded like we were complaining a lot there, but we were mostly just saying the negatives. Overall, there's nothing worse about this map at all than the previous Verdansk. Nothing. Not a single thing is worse about this. It's strictly, well, as of now, it's strictly better than the last Verdansk. So we're not complaining. We're fine with it. We weren't part of the group that was like, fucking give us Ural Mountains, fuck Verdansk. I'm so done with this map. We said as long as it's somewhat better, it doesn't get any worse, then that's fine. So it's okay to me so far, and I'm excited to explore different areas of the map, find out new spots. But yeah, overall, this is just better. So I'm happy with this. I'm okay with it. Could it have been better? Probably. Could Ural Mountains have been much better? Maybe, but it also could have been much, much worse. And they run that risk. And, basically doing a reskinned Verdansk, there wasn't much risk involved there. So I think they made a good decision here. It's like people are going to complain that it's just reskinned, which is true, but all those people are still going to play it either way, because they were playing it and they were fine with Verdansk. As much as they bitched about it, they were fine with it. Had Ural Mountains come out and it was awful, you had the potential to lose thousands and thousands of players.
True.
So I'm okay with the map. It's fine.
Yeah, agreed.
I did expect less buildings though. So. Yeah.
Oh, and they took out the subway.
They did take out the subway. Yeah.
The subway.
Why did they ever even add that in?
And they took it out.
It never met. That was a waste of time adding that in to begin with.
Sure was, bud. Sure was. An entire ass subway system that literally never once worked ever. It never worked as intended. So funny. And now it's gone.
Yep. You died so many times to that thing when you took it. You died in gas.
Every time.
Which is, let's not say it didn't work as intended. It worked as intended. It went to the next station. You would just always take it, not knowing what the next station was, and you would die. So let's not blame the game. That's you.
Wrong.
Okay, so Subway would teleport you from underneath fucking hospital to underneath Promenade, or what? Is that what you're saying?
When the blog
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. When the blog post came out announcing the subway, it said if you get on the subway, it'll tell you where it's going next, but don't worry, if the next destination is in gas, it'll keep going.
Oh, I forgot that they did say that.
Yeah, until it reaches a safe zone. Fake news. Never did that. It would just take you to the next destination.
Fake news.
Even if it's in gas. Never worked as intended. It's actually crazy. So the subway's gone now too, which is
well, you don't work as intended, but
which is perhaps true. So that's that. And again, we'll have more thoughts on Saturday and even more still in the coming weeks and months. There's also a new gulag. The new gulag is a little miniature standoff. Standoff is a fan favorite Black Ops 2 map.
They're really pushing Standoff this season, even though the map isn't even out in Cold War yet.
Yeah, they're getting a little standoffish. And Standoff is in farmland. It's going to be in Cold War, and it's also in the gulag, sort of. I've never died before, so I haven't actually played the new gulag, but I have seen screenshots of the Standoff gulag. Have you? Oh, I know you've been sent there. What are your thoughts on the gulag?
Wow, that was passive aggressive. I know you've been sent there. Damn, that was crazy. New gulag. Okay, liked it right off the rip. Not sure now. It's new and it's different. So I was thinking I liked it. It's entirely different in terms of size. So before, the old gulags were pretty just straight on, right? Not this one. There's a building you can go in. You can go around the other corner. You can go under the building and get through. You can go in the second story of the building. There's that little wall, which is like the main corner where the streets intersect and stand off. There's a little wall. You can jump on that. I got killed from there earlier. There's a tank you can hide behind. Not really sure. Now, maybe, just maybe, this gulag will require more skill because there's a chance to outplay people here with your positioning, which I did once, by the way. So this guy, everyone's initial thoughts so far are to spawn in and get behind the closest vehicle to where they spawn, right? So this guy spawns in, he runs behind the tank. I zip over to get in that building, and I get to the second floor of the little house, whatever it is. And I see the guy, right? I just see him standing there behind the tank looking at my spawn. And I'm just directly to the right of him. So I'm like, this dumb shit rat. So I had some stupid gun. I don't remember what it was. It was dog shit, though. So I was scared to fire. So I just walked up to him, ADS'd. I just walked up to him, ADS'd. He eventually got bored of looking that angle. And he's like, maybe he's not over here. And then he turned around and started walking towards me, and I just gunned him down. Yeah. So plays like that allowed me to actually outplay someone with positioning. So maybe this gulag will be better. I don't know how I feel. This is one for sure that'll take a lot of time. Especially because we very rarely die, so we won't be there often.
True.
So you may have to wait 6 months to get our feedback on this because we're there so little, you know?
True.
I mean, if we hit 300 patrons by the end of the month, then maybe I'll consider purposely dying so I can give you more gulag feedback.
Yes, that we're open to that. Patreon.com/thedropshot, of course. Yes, agreed. Yeah, it's. I'm with you in that I don't know how I feel about it yet. So like, this is the biggest gulag with the most lanes or areas of attack ever in this video game. You can't just pre-aim one of two spots and you guarantee someone's there, because they can be in a lot of different spots. I don't know if I like that or not yet. But I did get some very easy kills today.
I don't know if I like it yet or either, but that's what my initial thoughts are right away, is that there's a potential to actually outplay people versus me just spawning and somebody's already hard scoped on me and they just track on me as I come around the corner and gun me down, you know?
Yeah, like the old gulag was literally whoever gets to mid first will just win, because they can start pre-aiming the one place you can go first, and you're like you die. But now it's you know, there's a lot of different areas to go. It's interesting. So we'll see. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
It's better than gulag showers, I can tell you that much already, by the way.
That's true. Yeah.
Showers was fucking awful.
True. I hope we never see it again.
This last Nuketown style gulag, by the way, was way better than showers. Fuck showers.
Yeah. Showers was just so bad. Yeah, agreed. So that's that. And now on to the new meta. We'll go more into detail on Saturday with particulars, but there were a lot of nerfs, there were a lot of buffs, and no one really knows exactly what the best loadouts are going to be, especially since like new guns came out. But what we do know that some guns are for sure like no longer usable. M16 and AUG, done. Nerfed into the fucking ground. FFAR still seems usable.
FFAR still has a great time to kill, actually. It has a great time to kill, so it's probably just about in there with all like the top ARs. You know, Krig, Farah, maybe, I don't know. It's like somewhat in line with those. It actually kills faster than a lot of them, but it still has that shit ADS time. It's got, what did it get hit with? A torso multiplier, they got rid of that.
Let's find out here.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Let's pull up the what they did here. Hold on, I got it. FFAR. So overall damage was decreased, damage range decreased, the neck damage multiplier decreased, upper torso decreased, ADS speed decreased. So that's a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
So the actual just straight time to kill for a base weapon is still very competitive. But it's just it's not as broken as it was before. It's still going to be good and it's still going to be usable, but there are going to be other ARs that are better at certain things. Up close, it's probably still going to be better than a lot of other ARs, maybe like the Krig or something, or like the Cold War AK-47, which don't have great fire rates. The FFAR is probably still going to outgun those at a close range, but it's going to be closer. You're not just going to get shredded by it and feel like you got one framed.
Yes. Yeah, there's a pretty big nerf. Pretty fucking big. But it is still usable, which is interesting. It just goes to show you how disgusting this gun was. That you can nerf it 3 times and it's still, very competitive. Yeah. It just goes to show you how absolutely disgusting this gun was. So
yeah, M16 and AUG, though, were just fucking destroyed all around. I mean, the base gun was destroyed. The attachments were destroyed. They're absolutely done. So I don't think... We're not going to have a burst meta, that's for sure. We don't know about this new burst weapon that's kind of in the game, kind of not. How good that's going to be. But for now, burst weapons are done, which of course raises the skill gap, I think.
Yes.
People don't just have to click once and 3 bullets hit you. Yeah, and basically down you.
They were just so OP. So those are all out. So now... The question is going to be, because in addition to those nerfs, there were some pretty substantial buffs. Cold War AK has better recoil now. I don't think this gun's going to be good. I think it'll be usable. I don't think it's going to be good because that's the only thing that changed. It was never great.
It has a similar time to kill as an AMAX though, so it's good. It still has more recoil. Yeah, very similar. It has more recoil though. So again, if you want to use the meta gun, just use the AMAX. But it sounds like they're gonna just end up nerfing the AMAX. They said in these patch notes they're monitoring it closely and that no gun reigns king forever, or however they worded it. I don't know, some dumb shit.
Interesting.
But to me, they wouldn't have even said that if they weren't planning on more than likely nerfing it. So an AMAX nerf will probably come here at some point. It may not be for like a month or something. We'll probably get something, and that'll make guns like that even more usable. True. So like right now, it does just seem like the AMAX is still the #1 assault rifle to use.
Yeah, of course. The AMAX and the RAM are absolutely the 2 best ARs right now that we are certain are really good. But there are still questions, like the Cold War AK-47. Maybe with some kind of attachment setup, this thing gets better than an AMAX. I find it hard to believe, but it's possible. I don't know.
I don't think better than an AMAX, but it can probably be pretty close. Yeah.
Okay. Farah got the changes we were talking about earlier. It's its damage variance shrunk. So instead of being from 25 to 33, it's now from 26 to 31 damage possible. So that band is shorter. It makes it more consistent. The time to kill will change depending only on what areas of the body you're hitting. So that's just an interesting change. But then it got its range increased and its recoil got better. So maybe that'll enter the game. Groza was nerfed. Upper torso damage multiplier changed from 1.3 to 1.1. Groza's unusable now. It also increased recoil and reduced the ADS speed. It already had too much recoil to be used as a traditional AR. And the only thing it was good for was up close, like an FFAR was used. But now the upper torso damage multiplier is down 20%. There's no reason to use a Groza. I simply don't see one. Because if you can only use this up close anyway, you might as well use a fucking Mac 10. Because the damage multiplier is gone.
Yeah.
So
Mac 10 also got hit a little bit, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, interesting. Or another SMG. But yeah, Groza's out. Krieg, massive buffs. Maybe this is going to enter the game. QBZ, slight buffs. Maybe this will enter the game, although I think the damage is probably still a little too low. LC10, increased velocity, don't care. Mac 10 max damage decreased by 1. That was the only change. And they said this is just a precautionary change to promote diversity. I don't think that changes much, unless it changes the number of bullets to kill, which I think in some circumstances it would, which is probably why they did it.
For which gun? What are you talking about?
The Mac 10.
Yeah, it takes like an extra bullet at least to kill now, pretty much. After, I think it was when you're fully plated, it takes at least an extra bullet to kill now. Yeah.
It depends where you're shooting them, though.
Yeah, that was like that was torso base damage or base weapon stats torso.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what Ace was talking about.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So that's something. Pellington got its ADS and raise time. I don't know the difference between those things, but cool. Are faster. Pellington's still going to be shit. Don't worry about that. Tac rifle's destroyed. And then some changes to attachments as well. Something, I'm not going to go over all these right now, but the fast mag ADS speed penalty was reduced by 20% or 40% or 30%, depending on the type of gun. So fast mags penalize your ADS time less than they used to. Pretty interesting. It makes fast mags more attractive on Cold War guns. And then, you know, some other changes. So what's going to be meta now? I mean, again, we know AMAC's going to be good. RAM's going to be good. FAL and AS Val are still good, but those are their own kind of mixed bag. And then Mac 10's still good. FFAR not, probably. Groza absolutely not. So the only open questions, as far as I'm concerned, really, are QBZ, Krieg, maybe Cold War AK, maybe Farah. Those are the things to keep an eye on, in my opinion. And the Krieg got the most of a buff in this patch. Like a lot. All of it, it got a bunch of damage multipliers it didn't have before. To literally everywhere. To head, upper torso, stomach.
Yeah.
So that's not literally everywhere, but it's a lot. So that's pretty big. So those are going to be the things to keep an eye on. And then I think in about a week or two, we'll have a new settled meta. And we'll come back for more. What do you think the Krieg's going to be like? Have you used it before these buffs, Tanner?
Just the ground loot ones always. So no, I haven't used it. And mine also isn't maxed out, of course. So I need to work on that. I'm really regretting now not having a bunch of these Cold War weapons maxed out.
And I told you guys, by the way,
I don't have the Cold War AK-47 maxed out. I don't have the the FAR is like level 52. It's basically maxed out. I don't have the Krieg maxed. I still don't have the Bullfrog maxed. It's a disaster. Bullfrog, by the way, Elle just brought that up in chat. That probably will be one of the best SMGs for sure. That'll be like probably top 2 SMG, actually. Probably that and the Mac 10 still.
And the Cold War MP5, if people can figure it out. Because even though the Cold War MP5 didn't get changed itself, a ton of attachments that are available for it did change. That might make this a more attractive option, because the time to kill on the Cold War MP5 is offensively fast if you hit your shots.
If you hit your shots. And yeah, we were talking about it earlier, but PPSH and the new sniper K31 are not good, which is a shame, actually.
Why do you say that about the K31?
I also thought it was good on Rebirth. As soon as I got into Verdansk, I was noticing all of it was bad. I could tell it didn't have as much bullet velocity. So on Rebirth yesterday, I literally said, dude, this gun feels like hit scan. It's because it was Rebirth.
Yeah.
I'm shooting people at a fifth of the range that I usually shoot them at. So that sucked. I'm a dumb shit. I got baited by Rebirth. It reloaded quick. It rechambered a lot slower than the Kar 98 though. That was my biggest thing. And I was getting a bunch of hit markers. Now it still isn't max level, so I can't say for sure. I think mine's about level 30 by now, but still it's...
Do you have combat recon barrel yet?
No.
That might change a lot.
Yeah. Well. Oh, wait. Hold on. Jay God had tweeted something about it. I want to talk about this. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. He actually tweeted something about the new sniper a little while ago, it looks like. Okay. The Swiss sniper is definitely not it for Warzone. Head to head with 5 attachments against the Kar98, it loses in bullet velocity, fire rate, and ADS speed. So, again, Kar98 is just going to be king, it sounds like. So bullet velocity is 12% worse. Fire rate is about 5% worse. ADS speed, 25% worse compared to the Kar98. Now, he doesn't mention damage here, though, but I was getting a lot of hit markers. Again, I don't have the best attachments you need, so maybe that's why. But I was getting quite a few hit markers with it when we were playing on Verdansk. So that sucks. I really wanted that meta to shake up. The Kar98 is one of those guns, too, by the way. Has that ever been nerfed? I don't think it has been. That's like the RAM. It's never been touched, I don't think.
It has, yeah.
That's survived everything. It's always been good. Which I kind of think it has to be. Because, like, you need that gun that can get those quick scopes, still do some damage at range. The Kar98 is strictly just the most fun sniper to use in the game, right? So I was hoping the Swiss was going to basically be the same, but he's making it sound like it's entirely worse at everything, and at that point, there's actually no reason to use it.
Yeah,
why would I use a gun with worse velocity, worse ADS, and a worse fire rate?
Yeah.
It just sucks.
That does suck, actually.
So I'll probably still try it out tonight. I really like the default scope and reticle on it. It's pretty interesting. I'll give it a try still, but sounds like the Kar98 is just going to be the sniper to use still.
Interesting. The Kar98 is overpowered because of the fucking precision comb. If they just nerf that attachment, I think it would be a perfectly balanced weapon.
Maybe.
It's just too easy to snipe when you don't have any idle sway. Like, it's so dumb.
True.
I hate it. So I think if they just nerfed that, because it does occupy a unique role that needs to be occupied in Verdansk, I would say. So. Yeah. Okay, well, that's pretty much it, actually. So, I'm going to fire up a broadcast. We're going to keep streaming here. We're going to game from this fucking account. We're going to hope the video game works. And that is that. So reminder, again, Saturday afternoon is the live patron call-in Q&A. And then on Saturday evening, we will have a more thorough, detailed episode on what's it called? On season 3 in general. And we'll talk about Cold War a little bit too. We might not go into like too much detail because yeah, I don't know if yeah, we will. We'll figure it out, whatever. But live patron call and Q&A Saturday afternoon. Also, fuck, what else was I going to say? I don't remember. You guys know the vibes. Thedropshot.com. Thedropshot.com. Go there. Join the Patreon. Patreon.com/thedropshot. We just had our most recent bonus episode come out probably 2 or 3 days ago. It was a banger as always. We've got more coming, obviously. Only $5 a month, you get 4 bonus eps. At $10 a month, you get 5 bonus eps. We've got the live call-ins. We've got fucking weekly hangouts. We got it all, really. It's the best way to support this program for us, and it's the best way to support this program for you. So please consider joining if you enjoy the program. We very
you want
much
my cats to starve?
Appreciate all of your support, and we do, in fact, want to feed Tanner's cats because they are starving without your support. So make it happen. But anyways, boys and girls, that is it. Did I forget anything, Tanner?
No.
All right. We will be back on Saturday. For now, we're going to get some games in. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent, exceptional evening. And as always, of course, remember to please stay humble.
Stay humble.